that.
Dude, you're the coolest tour guide ever.
They wake up, pop their heads, and go back to dreaming. It's pretty awesome.
And speaking of that, watch your head on these two spots right here.
Yeah, I don't think you want to hit your head on those.
Maybe I think
When limestone's so porous, it resonates. You can hear it well. We actually have these things called pendants. They're not on this tour, unfortunately, but it looks like a pendant out of the wall. It's a piece of limestone. And you can smack it, and you send air through it, and depending on size and shape, it'll have musical tones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this glitter?
It could possibly be. We did a Christmas thing.
Okay, it's definitely red and green. I was
yeah.
tripping. I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell is this?
And y'all see Wally? The
Yeah.
little robot?
Yeah.
We got a Wally situation going on right there.
What's the odds of that?
All right.
One
It's
little
not really
piece.
supposed to happen underground at all, but we bring seeds on their shoes. The air's so wet it's the rain, and the spotlights are the sun.
It helps it
That's how
grow.
they're
Oh,
growing.
man.
Yeah. Animals would also bring all that in here, except for the artificial light.
There's a dead cave
Look
cricket.
at it.
So that is a dead cricket, and he is covered with fungus because nothing's going to decay underground like it does above ground because of the lack of light. So everything in here is gotten rid of through fungus because there's no evaporation.
Bro, what's the odds of finding an arrowhead?
Around here, not too bad unless it's like been picked over already.
Right. I'm looking hardcore for one.
He's like, I'm gonna see one on the
You probably
ground.
wouldn't find any in here. You'd be better off around river beds or stream beds.
Or one of those close by?
You got a Tennessee River out by Raccoon Mountain, which actually, if you drive up there, it's like 5 minutes away from here, and it's a beautiful view of the river and the mountains around it. Like how on Lookout, you can see the city. Over there, you can see the Tennessee and the mountains around it just as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you're just you drive around a reservoir, so it's right at the top. It's pretty nice. I go there like on my lunch break a lot because it's so close.
It's that close?
Yeah, like leave the campground, turn left, 1.5 miles down the road on your right, you'll see a sign that says TVA Pump Storage. It's up there, just 6 miles to the top.
I seen a TVA thing pulling in.
And this
Oh,
right
look
here,
at
this is a
that.
really good area to see like the stages of growth for this.
Wow. You got yellow, brown, white.
The yellow there would be iron, the blackish or gray is manganese, reddish is just more iron. And we also have some fossils around here, like what you talked about earlier, the crinoids. That's these little guys in there.
And they're on the ceiling.
Oh, man. That is so... I want to keep that.
So those guys were filter feeders, and second cousins to a sea anemone. And they're considered a living fossil because there's stuff still alive today that does the same job and basically looks the same. But it could have been anywhere from 2 to 15 feet out of the ocean floor.
So is this a stop you make with tours because you know this is here?
It depends on the group size. Like if they're trailing back there, like, I can't show everybody
Right.
this spot, so we'll just walk on by.
Well, bro, we're tickled. We don't... This is... What the fuck? It's a hole all the way. Let's go.
Oh yeah, probably just blasting through with stuff. You'll find like some $50 size holes in here too, where they jackhammer to slip quarter sticks of dynamite in.
Okay.
So that's all them opening up the caves.
Yeah, to make it easy to walk through, like the wild cave section. The only reason you could tell that humans go in there a lot is because limestone will polish. So some of the spots on the trail, like where we're scooting and everything, are going to be polished. Like right here, this is slippery because it's a little polished. And this right here we call our raccoon's den. Just a little playful name, but what happened to make it form is a pile of mud and flowstone formed on top, and then it flooded and washed all that mud out. Cave systems around here still flood, but never the part we're in. We're in the oldest part. So the wild cave section will flood because it's backed up from the youngest. And it'll be so bad you have to scuba dive in that 2 hour. So we have to survey, see if it's good or not.
Y'all do scuba diving when it gets...
Unfortunately
Not
not. It's
here.
pretty dangerous. You need a lot of certifications for that. But y'all are on the way to Florida.
Right.
They have the same type of caves, but they're all full of water.
And they do offer scuba diving school.
Well, bro, I mean... We might be going to Florida after this, I don't know.
We might just stay here.
Nice.
Like, well, there's a couple, like, we originally, man, we cashed out at our jobs about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Said, fuck it, sold
What were y'all
everything.
doing?
Man, well, I
Worked
worked
at a
at a
chicken
chicken
plant.
plant.
Okay.
And I mean, we did make pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't knock it. I mean, we brought in a couple grand a week. You know what I'm saying? So we saved up enough money, and we were just like, man, fuck it. So we originally was going towards Kentucky Caves,
Okay.
and my buddy just called me out the blue yesterday.
You wanna come to Florida?
You want to come to Florida? So man, fuck yeah. I dropped my dog off with my
Why
brothers,
not?
and boom, we left the RV and everything because we originally was going to drive the
Straight
RV.
there. Okay.
But man, I just don't think I could have drove an RV in all this traffic. I really don't think I could have.
Oh yeah. I
Freak
don't.
you out?
I don't even like driving like an extended bed truck.
Right.
I just
just-
get uncomfortable.
Spooked me out. So
Right.
we ended up just taking the car. Well, on our way, I got overwhelmed last night. Me and her got into an argument. I was just like,
I gotta stop.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the traffic and everything. I was like, man, fuck. And I wasn't doing nothing that we said when we left. Like, man, we're gonna, if we drive an hour and see something worth seeing, I want to stop and see it.
Yeah.
But here it was a rush to get to Florida. My
And
buddy.
then just moved there. So we always have family there on a visit, and I look forward to it so much. We always leave like around Thanksgiving, so all the fog and the leaves are changing.
Oh, such a beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to go up there and try to kill a gator, bro.
Oh, it'd be fun.
Right.
I think you can
do
go gator
tours
hunting,
where
yeah.
you'll go hunting.
Bam!
Yeah.
I knew it. That might be our next stop. I don't know.
That's all you can do outdoors down there is hunt. That's all there is, hunting and sports. So like I like the food and culture down there
Right.
better maybe. But around here if you like outdoors there's so much more.
See, we're going to capture whatever the U.S. has to offer
Yeah,
us this year.
nice.
You know? And we're tickled pink, man, and it's starting off with, I'm loving this. Like,
Nice.
this is awesome.
So one more thing about this guy, I just think he looks like Shrek's house on the swamp.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It just needs the door.
Yeah, but he's got his dinner table with
Oh,
the
I see
earwax
it.
candles and everything.
Oh, shit. You see it, look?
It does look like the earwax
Yeah.
candles. That's so neat.
And y'all watch your head right here. These are like especially sharp.
We probably just made your tour longer than 45 minutes, bro.
Oh, it don't matter. I just got one more today and it's at 3 o'clock. So y'all know how you can look at tree rings and measure weather that was happening when those formed? You can do the same thing with calcite. You're just looking at like tens of thousands of years instead of tens. So like thin and dark on top is a drought. Not that much water, you don't have the pressure and acidity to get all that calcium, so it got a lot of other minerals making it dark, and even bits of rock. And then thick and white is the exact opposite. A lot of water, a lot of everything else. You know, vegetation thrived whenever that was forming.
Here, brother. I've been mining for hours.
Like, I found a rock on the ground.
If y'all do want to touch part of the cave too, you can touch this part down here. You were right, it feels basically like molding clay. But it is supposed to be good for your skin because it's loaded with minerals. I've taken wild cave tours and had people go full predator.
Just
their
put it
face.
all over their face.
Look, bro, that's what you need to do. You need to open up a little spa.
Yeah, so we can't sell anything that comes from caves like as a business, but if you
Right.
want to meet me by my car after, no.
I got it on the
Curiosity,
roller.
bro.
Uh-huh.
Have you looked at this right here?
No.
Like, look at all the, like, what's up with all the indentions?
Oh,
and
so
stuff?
somebody was wearing a glove and picked up some
Oh.
mud and then went.
Okay. All right.
So the
Yeah.
gloves have
My
grip
bad.
on them.
Yeah, we got little grips on them because they'll get caked up with mud, and if they didn't, like,
You slip.
yeah, it's gonna be too slippery. And make sure y'all watch out for these stairs. The Smith brothers built them. Obviously, they were a lot better at paving.
Little uneven.
And this right here is sparkling pretty well.
Hey,
All
just-
the green you're seeing in it, though, is like an algae-like growth from the same thing that we saw that plant from earlier.
So, how old are these steps?
I'd say like 50s, 60s at least, but they
That's awesome.
built them for the tour, so probably more like the 40s.
40.
Because they bought it in the 40s and had it up and running with their extended version in like just a few years.
What's wrong with that back there, bro?
That's Leo Lambert's route, so we don't use it just because it's such a shorter route. It would make the tour 15 minutes if we went through that way. Also, with like the exception of these stairs right here, he liked to carve them out of the limestone, so he didn't bring anything into the cave. So now they're super polished, it's real slick.
Real slick.
Also, we got these holes up here in the ceiling, and these are called solution holes. So basically, after breakdown and everything, the forming part of the cave gets stopped up, water backs into here, and then pressure has to go somewhere, so it finds the crack. An upside down whirlpool will drill to the surface until it makes a natural spring. If it doesn't reach that, though, it's just a solution hole. But like Florida, they have so many natural springs because they got the same type of caves, but the sea level's so high they never drained. And then down here, we do have a extremely rare formation. So it's this guy right here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait. Yeah. So this guy is rare because of how he forms. It's called a cave shield. You got a crack right here, 3 centimeters thick. Minerals only leave from the sides of a stream and spraying out pressurized like how you put your thumb on a garden hose. So that makes 2 plates not touching. Took 1,400 years to get them this big. That's a long time for the water, but not the plates. So then the water's just trickling, but the plates are still have CO2 leaving. It closes up that gap. The trickling water adds pressure and pops cracks in the back, and that's how you get these formations sticking out the
It
bottom.
almost looks like fabric.
Yeah, those are called curtains right here when you do
That's
that.
so neat.
Those are parasitic though. Normally this would come out like a dinner plate. They grow from the bottom till they rip it in half. There are only 587 cave shields in the continental US that we know of, and 500 are in a single cave system in Nevada.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and I believe that number includes broken ones too. But that leaves 87 for everybody else. In Tennessee, we have over 14,000 cave systems, and the continental US is ballparked at 150,000.
Wow.
It is kind of freaky, but you can overlay a general map of cave systems in the US and overlay a map of missing persons, and they do coincide a little bit.
That's odd.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah. But I do exclude Hawaii and Alaska on purpose. Hawaii is all those lava tubes. Alaska's all ice caves. So you won't get this formation there.
It's a nice little crack.
All right, you gotta watch out for this puddle right here. What? You see Scooby-Doo right here? He's going after ice cream sundae.
Do you see those?
I do.
Is
Where's
there-
Shaggy?
We'll find him.
And this is kind of cool right here too. So you can see through these curtains sometimes. It's only because there's more calcium here. This is just as thick as this, but there's other minerals that stop the light.
So it's like bone.
And literally, that's why like some of them, whenever it's the size of your wrist, it is super easy to break because it's like bone with like no marrow
Right.
and no tendons or anything on it to help out. But then if it's like the size of a small tree, it's stronger than a tree that size.
Oh, you just want to see what was back there? It's got the Ruby Fall colors.
Ain't that cool? Not bad, bro.
I was going to ask if there was a reason y'all use blue lights.
Oh, nah, just like mood lighting. But like these little things over here, the big puddles, that's actually a formation. It's called a rimstone pool. And water will drip, but it's so much it doesn't make a stalagmite. It pools, and then the water drips in the puddle, ripples take the minerals to the edge, and build a dam around it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, when they're small, like you could take your thumb and crumble it. But there's some in the wild cave that are like this big. I don't have to cross my feet to walk on them.
Wow. That's pretty.
That is pretty, ain't it?
You know, how does it not?
What?
Makes you wonder how it don't fill up with water with a constant drip.
Probably is absorbing watch your head. You're a lot taller than me.
So this spot right there, that's how we know this is the fastest forming and not the oldest. They call it grandfather because it being the biggest they thought it was. But these stairs are only 80 years old and they're growing 2 feet on top means it's forming over 24 times the average. This right here is one stalagmite because it's not touching the ceiling yet. And it is so big around it covers a small room. It's like the ceiling for it. But it's younger than that column we saw at the beginning that was 500,000 years old, even though it's 4 times the size.
Wow.
Wow. That just looks wicked right there.
Yeah, I think this part, like especially if you're standing up the stairs, it looks like a wizard. And he's giving you the middle finger. Here's another little baby snuggie.
Legitly though, bro. You can get
Such
lost
pretty
in these fucking
counters.
things easy.
Oh yeah, and like all the Swiss cheesing, basically like tunnels.
Yeah.
A room, especially if you just got your headlamp on, because you can't see the whole room, it'll look different when you're coming from a different way. So like
You won't even know.
the Wild Cave tours on our routes, I know every crawl that is around the route.
So when you're coming back, you can get lost just because you're not recognizing that that's the same area.
You know, about the time you get in and get to being able to dig in the cave, the fucking COVID hit.
Yeah, really though.
Something that ain't nobody ever even fucking heard of.
That just looks so
bro.
precarious.
Ain't that wild?
That's what I'm
Looks like
talking
it's
about.
barely even on there.
Oh, I know. I think it's connected to the rock below it, and that's kind of why it's okay.
And it just looks like it's
Yeah.
two different ones.
But also, we have one more formation here that I want to show y'all. It's all over caves like this. It's called Cave Coral. But what happens is there's so much water dripping, it doesn't make a stalagmite and it doesn't make a rimstone pool. It leaves a little bit behind, making a flat spot, but it's splashing and throwing back. So we call it the Jackson Pollock method. But these are also full of air because of the minerals leaving from the edge of water. So you pop them, you have some sharp rock left behind. And the reason that the minerals always leave from the edge of water is because of hydrostatic pressure. That's what's going on in your blood vessels to make them stay open when they pump blood. So some of these things are forming from capillary action. And before we head out, I do want to show y'all my favorite formation in here. It's this little cluster of stalagmites, but I think it looks like someone specific. Y'all know who I'm thinking of?
Hold on.
And through the
Trying to
phone, it kind
picture
of
it.
looks like Jesus.
That's funny.
It's definitely Harry Potter, bro.
Harry Potter, I have not gotten that.
Who
one
is
yet.
it?
I'm thinking of Abraham Lincoln.
Sitting in his
memorial.
chair.
Holy shit, I see it.
Yeah, he's got a cold brew in his right hand, and he spilled some on his shirt, but that's okay.
It's like he's holding like head,
Yeah.
arm. Holy shit. And then it looks like he's a genie getting sucked into a bottle.
I've heard that a few times too.
It's pretty cool.
But the head definitely a
Oh
man.
yeah, like I can almost see the beard and everything.
Right. The glasses, it almost feel like the dude wore every now and then. Hanging right there.
Alright.
If he had the head, that'd be.
It'd be like
That'd be
that'd
it.
kind of insane. All right, so before we head out of here, the last thing that we're gonna see is this big old heart in the ceiling. We call this the Tunnel of Love because of the breakdown making this heart.
Oh, I see it.
And also, Leo Lambert used to let people get married like right here in the 30s.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But as we go through the Tunnel of Love, watch your head on the right-hand side. Sometimes that can hurt.
Well, remember that. You know, I ain't even been really looking at what them. That's really cool.
Do y'all like bacon too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got some cave bacon right here. Doing the same thing as earlier, it just looks like strips of bacon.
It does.
Alright, if y'all don't mind, just skip the first step. There's a little guy on it.
See him?
And this is everything I just put my light through. It's just starting off, it's very young. But these curtains form from one line dragging over itself again and again. Everything in here pretty much just gets bigger. I look at cave systems like this, like scar tissue in the ground, because 100 million years ago it was solid. 100 million years from now it'll be solid again. All these formations will take up the room.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, but at that point, that youngest part of the cave that I told you about earlier will look like this. Alright, we're back close to the surface now. There's some more tree roots coming through. A little cricket hiding around. And this black speckly looking stuff right here, this is called vermiculation. Whenever the cave would deflood and flood again, it would bring in organic matter. It would sit in the same spot for so long it petrifies, so you can carbon date it, and it helps you age the cave. Because you can even tell when it petrified and how long it's been there.
That is awesome.
It almost looked like little worms.
Yeah, and for those solution holes, you will never see this around a solution hole because that current took up the organic matter and turned it into tannic acid. So solution holes actually form faster than the rest of the cave system would.
Oh, man.
I found a spider web, and I've never seen one with spiders, so I'm trying to follow it. I don't think there's anything around here.
I see the web.
Yeah.
It goes all the way over.
There are just like wolf spiders in this
Right.
part though, because that building and entrance is so close. Like I was telling you, you'll see like cool bats if you just crawl on little like 13-foot, 15-foot openings in the mountain. I've also done that, and like it was so tight, I had one arm up and one down, but it was like 3.5 foot of this wide above me, and I was like, I know that critters love that kind of stuff. So I flipped over and saw so many crickets and spiders I couldn't see the walls.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I just like flipped over, acted like I saw nothing.
Right. I've never been a spider person.
No,
I used to
like-
be scared of cave crickets because they look like spiders
Yeah.
sometimes.
And whenever you're in a little crawl that's adjacent outside like that, they do jump. And they were like all over the place in front of me. It wasn't that fun.
Look, baby.